Undisputed Boxing has been out for quite some time now, and I'm here to give you the facts. If you're like the thousands of other boxing fans that want to play a new boxing game, I'm here to help you decide whether this game is worth your money. But my goal is to highlight the bad things because, quite frankly, over time, the bad things outweigh the good things in any video game. But before we start, we need to understand Steel City Interactive and their actions over the course of the release of this game. On release day, we had a decent game. I mean, Deontay Wilder was OP with power shots bleeding through blocks, and it was a simple fix to a decent game. Then we received the first update, and let me tell you, it was not a good one. It reduced stamina across all fighters to the point where you can't string combos together at all. It also introduced the 8-round scoring glitch, where the scoring of the 8th round did not count during the judges' decisions. They also decided to add a paid DLC for Jake Paul as a fighter. The second update didn't fix the 8-round scoring, and it also just adjusted sliders that really didn't make a difference at all. The third update finally fixed the 8th round scoring, but now hooks act like counters and are faster than jabs. They're spammed constantly. Moreover, they added more paid DLC and did not add dedicated servers. Then we receive another update that actually made hook spamming worse. Hooks freeze you in place if you dare to throw a jab or try to box intelligently. The problem with this sequence of events is that we still get weird camera shakes when knocked down in replay, weird scrunched faces when fighters are hurting. We still get the same knockdowns. Like, literally all hook knockdowns look the same. Uppercut knockdowns look the same. You rarely get any type of jab or cross knockdowns. Body knockdowns look the same every time the fighter just takes a knee. I mean, when fighters are knocked down, they kind of like slide across the floor. Like, the ragdoll and collision settings just need to be tweaked. And we also still don't have referees in the ring, which is a whole other story. And the fact of the matter is, these are really minor fixes that will truly improve the game. With each update that's released, we don't get any fixes for the minor things that absolutely need to be done. There are improvements that need to happen, but we get more paid DLC, and there's such a big emphasis on content rather than ensuring the base game is actually good. They're releasing new arenas to fight in and new venues, but you still can't have a great fight. There's still issues in the standard base mechanics of the game. And Steel City Interactive still can't get the stamina right. Blocking and stamina have always been an issue throughout the development of this game, but it's to the point where stringing together 3 to 4 punch combos can completely drain your stamina. And God forbid your opponent decides to counter your combo, because if you decide to block after throwing a combo, you're gonna have no stamina at all. There isn't really a happy medium here. You're either draining stamina non-stop or having such a slow-paced fight. You can argue the realism of this, but the fact of the matter is we want a fun game. Realistic is one aspect, but we need to be able to have fun too. And as things currently stand, you're just trading punches and blocking. You can't have clean counters with an open window when they're in the middle of throwing a punch. You throw your 3 punches, block, have 0 stamina, step back, wait, and then go ahead and throw your combo again once your stamina is finally regenerated. It's like playing a new RPG where your character gets cold or hungry or tired and you need to take care of them constantly. Like, realism is cool and all, but I don't want a video game to be a chore. The same way I don't want to worry about throwing 2 punches and running out of stamina and having to back up constantly. There needs to be some kind of balance here, and there just isn't. They made improvements to career mode in terms of like adding the ability to change weight classes and adding more custom fighters to fight, but it's still missing a ton of areas to interact. In terms of training camps, it's all menus. There's no mini games with training. You know, when you select a gym to train in, you can't really view it or do anything with the gym. It's solely about selecting training options for your fighter. This isn't a huge issue for me, but I know there's a huge part of the audience that wishes they could train with mini games and actually interact with the training environment beyond just simming your training. There's also a huge lack of game modes. The easiest way to compare this is with Fight Night Champion, because it really is the most relevant comparable right now. I mean, Fight Night Champion had a career mode that follows an actual story. They had a legacy mode for creating a fighter and becoming the GOAT, working through weight classes and fighting for belts, which is essentially Undisputed's career mode. And then the progression system was phenomenal with the interactive training of Fight Night Champion. You got a ton of XP to really upgrade your fighter in multiple ways, and you really felt those upgrades when you were fighting with that fighter. Whereas upgrading your fighter in Undisputed, as great as it feels to be better in Undisputed, it's just missing something. Something is off. Not to mention, Fight Night Champion also had bare knuckle mode with like super cool venues, including a prison venue, which was awesome. I mean, it really added to the like brutality and bloody fights. There was like this dark grit with Fight Night Champion that really highlighted like the toughness of being a true boxer. At this point, it's incredibly clear that the company doesn't play test their game. They adjust sliders and then push another paid DLC. Like, we just saw that announcement that they secured a deal to be the only company able to have Muhammad Ali in their games. But like, why on God's beautiful green earth are they worried about licensing for Muhammad Ali rather than actually fixing the base mechanics and fundamentals of their game? Money is being used in the wrong ways, and the focus of improving this game is tied to paid DLC rather than the actual gameplay improvement. And that's the biggest problem with this game. At the end of the day, it's the first boxing game we've had in a long time, right? So everybody's super hyped on it. How could you not be? But the problem is, we have such bare bone fundamentals of the game. It's just enough to pass as a decent boxing game, but the fact of the matter is, it has so many flaws at the same time that it's hard to justify buying it. And the biggest flaw of all is the way Steel City Interactive is actually handling the development and the updates of this game. Because the focus is on paid DLC, adding a bunch of fighters that cost money when they were promised out the gate initially when they were advertising this game, it's really sent a horrible message to the fans of the game and boxing in general, right? You want a solid boxing game because it's been a long time since you've had one, but at this point, Fight Night Champion is still holding up just as well as Undisputed. And that's a huge problem given when Fight Night Champion was actually made. So at this point, you don't really have much of a desire to buy Undisputed. It is not that much better other than the fact that it is quite literally new. And at that point, it's worth deciding, is it worth buying? I think the advertisement of the game, the direction it's developing with the updates, and the overall indirect messaging provided by the developers, I truly can't see this game going anywhere. I think it's going to remain exactly where it's at in terms of popularity, and it's going to continue to fizzle out. The priorities are wrong. It's not about venues at this point, nor is it about buying new fighters to play with. It's about making sure head movement, stamina, throwing combos, career mode, it's making sure all of that is truly ironed out and sufficient. And as of right now, it's just a half-baked game, but Steel City Interactive would rather push to make more money than actually fix this game. Throw it back in the oven. It needs to be cooked more. There needs to be more time on this game. Now, with that being said, is it worth buying? In my opinion, I would never pay full price for this game, and I would never pay for the DLC that they're releasing right now. It is absolutely not worth it. I got the game for like 20 bucks a long time ago. I barely really touch it at this point because it's just a disappointment. So would I buy it? I wouldn't buy it at full price. I would rather spend my money on Fight Night Champion and get a variety of game modes that I could really spend some time on, rather than this game where your main option is career mode and it's bare bones. It's truly a lack of effort at the end of the day. With that being said, at this point in time, I don't think it's worth buying anymore. I think when there was originally hope, it seemed awesome, but now, seeing how long it's been out and seeing just the horrible direction Steel City Interactive is taking this game, I really can't justify spending the money on it anymore. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.